Zombie outbreak. This is how a zombie apocalypse would look based on coronavirus pandemic.
Section 51. Section 51.
Hi everyone, what's up? I am DOZgeek, back here with you on Section 51 on YouTube in a new amazing video. Thank you again for your support to the channel and for your kind messages. As you must know now, coronavirus has forced streets to empty and the majority of people to stay inside with scenes reminiscent of zombie apocalypse movie. And now one expert has revealed what an outbreak of the living dead might look like. Talk of infection rates, lockdowns and overwhelming pressure on health surface has left the planet in an eerie state. Thanks to coronavirus, the majority of towns in the world now could provide the perfect settings for a zombie outbreak. And now a researcher has revealed what an outbreak of the Walking Dead might look like. Bucknell University anthropologist Claire Samuels in Pennsylvania, USA, who teaches a course about zombies, posted a thread on Twitter revealing what an apocalypse of the zombie kind might look like. Thankfully, Mrs. Samuels starts by saying that a zombie outbreak would be much easier to contain than the COVID-19 pandemic. She explains.
In reality, a disease like zombism would generally be very easy to contain. With a zombie epidemic, you would immediately know who was infected. There would be no moral ambiguity about how to handle the situation. You can't help them. They are already dead. People who are infected by zombies have immediate symptoms, often turning in a matter of minutes or hours. There is no asymptomatic incubation period.
This would differ greatly to the COVID-19 incubation period, where symptoms do not tend to show for an average of 5 days. Mrs. Samuels goes on to detail how in zombie movies, once health and police services fall and governments collapse, people tend to turn into the worst versions of themselves. However, she states that in reality, this would probably not be the case and that the current coronavirus crisis shows how supportive humans actually are to one another. And she added,
Societies without centralized governments actually have less conflict than we do. Not no conflict, people still fight, sometimes violently. But there are mechanisms for how to resolve these problems, including murder, in ways that actively attempt to curtail violence. One mechanism for conflict resolution is physically moving away from people. It is a mystery to me why in The Walking Dead, for example, people don't just move away from each other, given that the world is almost totally depopulated and they could go anywhere. And what we are actually seeing in the COVID-19 pandemic is not a collapse of society, but its strengthening from the group up. People are creating neighborhood networks. They are reaching out to friends to offer help. They are showing care and concern for each other. And our heroes of the moment are those who have been caring for all of us all along: nurses, doctors, teachers, cooks, grocery store workers, farmers. That desire to reach out and help people during the crisis is often missing in zombie films, which tend to assume that we will all descend into aggressively individualistic survival mode unless forced to do otherwise. But that's not really how people are most of the time.
I understand her opinion, her theory, and I agree with her considering the fact that there's still some type of governance at the head of the society. And that's what we are living today. So I think that we have got the two main key points here: governance and time of incubation. I am convinced that since the moment a virus is incubating very fast with symptoms very quickly, even faster than COVID-19, and moreover countries have governments or authorities which are overwhelmed by events, like saturated hospitals, increase of crimes, murders and loots in the streets, increase of dead people, and even insecurity and health professionals, the shift to a more chaotic situation can happen very quickly. I won't be so confident in the good nature of human beings. I think that the situation can very easily and quickly degenerate if all the ingredients of an apocalypse are gathered at the same moment. And when things are bad, you can be sure that people really tend to turn into the worst versions of themselves. It's everyone for himself, especially when people start getting hungry. You can say whatever you want, the human being brings heaven and hell everywhere he goes. Another big question linked to this topic of the virus and the lockdown is the economic question, because a lot of companies, and often small companies, have to shut down and stop working. So we are rapidly heading into a period of severe economic recession. Even if we make it in killing the COVID-19 with a miracle vaccine, we can't avoid the economic recession, which will put a lot of people into poverty and unemployment. And everyone knows that these are often the seeds of future world wars. Wars are always used by governments to boost the economy. So even if we defeat the virus, it's scary with the probabilities of future wars or conflicts. So what do you think? Are we going to a zombie apocalypse with the threat of COVID-19, or rather to a future worldwide conflict? Between which countries? Can this test be the opportunity for our angels, aliens who are observing us, to reveal their presence and maybe save us from ourselves? Who knows? I hope you enjoyed this video. While waiting for the next video, you can find us on social networks, Facebook, Instagram or Twitter. Please like, share, subscribe, hit that bell button and keep supporting Section 51. You can also join at any moment our private space. I'll be back very soon. Open your eyes, watch the sky, live long and prosper. See you soon in the next video.